Hello and welcome to Fox Comics and Games in beautiful downtown Marion, Illinois. And today is Tuesday, February 27th, and we are unpacking our new comic order that goes on sale tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. on Wednesday, February 28th. And we're starting off today with DC's Superman in Action comic, issue 998, only two away. And that's the Blood and Family. And then here, standard cover, and then there's the variant cover, which is part of our contest this week for the best cover. Pretty good looking cover. Next up from Marvel, we have all new Wolverine issue 31. That looks pretty interesting. And then we have from Marvel issue 682 of the Avengers, and it's part 8 of the No Surrender backstory. Next up from Aftershock Comics, who have really stepped up their game recently, we have the comic Backways, and it is issue 3, and it's fairly popular here in the store, so it must be a pretty good book. Next up from DC, Batgirl, and it is issue 20. Variant covers are available for that as well. Also from DC, we have Batman Beyond, issue 17, Unmasked. That comes out tomorrow. Variant covers available for it as well. After that, we have from Image Comics, The Beef, and that is issue number 1, Tainted Love, a biochemical romance. And there are variants available for that one as well. It looks pretty interesting. Next up from Dynamite Publishing, we have Betty Page, issue 8. And this will give you an idea of the Betty Page scandalous covers on the variants that they have available. Next up, we have Black Panther, and that is issue 170 of the Black Panther title, and that is pretty cool. And also, I thought I would show what some of their variant covers look like this week. It's a pretty wicked looking cover, and in the running for best cover of the week. Next up from DC is issue 18 of Blue Beetle. His final battle, ? We can only hope. Alright, next up from Marvel is Captain Marvel, issue 129, part of the Dark Origins. And then from Marvel also is issue 17 of Champions. And then from DC, we have issue 4 of The Demon, Hell is Earth. And speaking about Earth and Hell, we have from Marvel, The Despicable Deadpool, issue 295. And as you can see, he's doing a fair amount of damage to the Earth. Next up from DC, we have Batman Detective Comics, and that is issue 975, The Trial of Batwoman. And this is an idea of that variant cover that's available for that. Next up from Dark Horse Comics, if you read any of the Black Hammer from Jeff Lemire or any of the subsequent add-on comics to that, this is the next step in that series. And this is called Dr. Starr and the Kingdom of the Lost Tomorrows. It's a nice title by Jeff Lemire, and that is issue 1. Just hits the shelves tomorrow. Then next up from Marvel is Doctor Strange, issue 386. And that's a pretty wicked looking cover. And then next up from DC, we have The Flash, issue 41. And again, as we like to do with The Flash, we'll show his variant cover. They normally do a pretty good job on his variant covers. Next up from Image, we have the Gasolina number 6. And that is selling fairly well here at the shop. Then from Boom Studios, we have Saban's Go-Go Power Rangers number 7. And just so you know what they look like, that's what some of the variant covers look like on the Saban's Go-Go Power Rangers number 7. Then from DC, we have Gotham City Garage. They seem to wear a lot of fishnet stockings at that garage, so I would watch out for that. Okay, next up from Marvel, we have The Unbelievable Gwenpool, issue 25. And it looks like she's in the Gwenpool, if you see what I say. All right, next up we have from DC, Hal Jordan and the Green Lantern Corps, issue 39. And that is The Rage of Krypton. And again, another beautiful variant cover as Hal reaches for the ring there. And then next up, also from DC, we have the Hellblazer, issue 19. And then that would be the variant cover for Hellblazer 19. Then next up, from Burger Books, and this is a 4-shot. This is issue number 2 out of the 4 that are out. This is Hungry Ghosts, and it's written by Anthony Bourdain. If you're a Food Channel watcher, you know Anthony Bourdain, but that's his comic called Hungry Ghosts, issue 2. Next up from Marvel is The Invincible Iron Man, issue 597. And then we have Jessica Jones, issue 17. The remnants of Brian Michael Bendis' work at Marvel. Then we have from Archaia Publishing, Jim Henson's Labyrinth Coronation, and that is issue number 1. That's going to be a 12-shot, and it looks pretty saucy. I really enjoy the quality of the cover and the paper they use and the artwork inside. Really, really nicely done. Next up from DC, we have the Justice League of America, issue 25. Then next up, for those so inclined, we have from Dynamite Publishing, Kiss and the Army of Darkness. And that is issue 1. So a great time to jump on and pick up some Kiss and the Army of Darkness. And then next up from Marvel, we have Legion. And that is issue 2 of Legion. Then from Marvel, we have kind of a unique item. These are the movie prequels. And this is the prelude to Avengers Infinity War. And that is issue 2 of 2. So that's the second half of that prelude. But those are always kind of interesting to give you a little pre-story to the movie. Then next up from DC, a new launch this week, Mira, Queen of Atlantis, issue number 1. And that looks pretty interesting as well. Then we also carry Moon Knight from Marvel, issue 192, comes out tomorrow. And that's subtitled Crazy Runs in the Family, and I could certainly empathize with that. All right, next up we have from Marvel, Peter Parker, The Spectacular Spider-Man, issue 300. Kind of a watershed issue, and there he is standing on the 300. Then we have from Image Publishing, issue 8 of Rat Queens, the current run of Rat Queens. And next up from DC, we have issue 2 of Raven, Daughter of Darkness. And then next up, from Image, we have issue 10 of Redneck, which many days here in Southern Illinois, it seems like we might be living that comic here. And then next up, we have from Oni Press, Rick and Morty, from Adult Swim, and that is issue 35 there. Then from Marvel, issue 2 of Rogue and Gambit. One of Mr. Fox's favorites, and I'm sure most of you out there as well. Image Publishing Saga, issue 49. We're all completely, I don't know what the rest of it is. It's part of the breaking news. Next up from DC is The Silencer, issue 2. And that might be about my wife, because I know Silent But Deadly applies to her. All right, next up we have from Image Publishing, Spawn, issue 283. And Todd McFarlane back working, doing the work that he was born to do. And then from Marvel, we have part of the Gwenum story, issue 29 of Spider-Gwen. Then next up, also from Marvel, we have issue 28 of Spider-Man vs. Deadpool. And then another great cover, and it's from Marvel as well. Star Wars Darth Vader, issue 12. That's really a wicked looking cover there. And then next up from DC, we have Suicide Squad, issue 36, part of the Drain the Swamp series. And again, there's a variant cover of the same comic just to show you how wonderful those are. Also from DC, we have Teen Titans, issue 17. And a really wicked looking variant cover for Teen Titans 17. Also from DC, out tomorrow, is issue 1 of The Terrifics. That's my nickname. Next up from Marvel, we have Thanos, issue 16. And then from IDW, we have Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, issue 79. And then for the more politically adept, we have the Keen Spot comic Trump's Titans versus the Mandela Effect. That is probably what you think it is, so plan accordingly there. Image Publishing, next, Underwinter. Nice book by Ray Fox, and it's part 5 of that. Also from Image Publishing, we have Void Trip, issue 4. If you kind of like the psychedelic stuff, there you go. Next up from DC, Wonder Woman, a favorite of Mr. Fox's, married to her actually, issue 41. And next up from Marvel, we have issue 22 of X-Men Blue. And then finally we have from Valiant Publishing, Exo Man of War, issue 12. And for those of you who are used to getting your Valiant from Fox's, which you should because Valiant is kicking butt right now, these are what the pre-order bundle covers look like. And so if you have a pull list with us for Exo Man of War, that's what you'll be getting tomorrow. That's it, except for we also got in a truckload of trade paperbacks and graphic novels. We got some pins and some more banks in. Lots of cool stuff and lots of neat things happening at Fox Comics and Games in beautiful downtown Marion, Illinois. Hope to see you here soon.